Hello everyone, Total Level here, and, sorry, something's on my mind. What is it? Barrel!
タルタルル
樽だな。
タルタルル
Hey everyone, how's it going? Total Level here to review Atelier Resleriana, the Red Alchemist, and the White Guardian, available on PC, Nintendo Switch, and the PlayStation 5. Thanks to Koei Tecmo for providing me with a review code for the PS5 version. When the next game in the Atelier Resleriana series of games was announced, I was a little skeptical. I played a little bit of Forgotten Alchemy and the Liberator of the Polar Night, which was a free-to-play gacha game, which it was okay, but many aspects were watered down and a little too basic. Plus, the game is no longer playable outside of Japan as the servers have been shut down. And so with the Red Alchemist and the White Guardian, I wasn't sure how this was going to turn out. I am happy to announce that this game ended up being a ton of fun, with just some issues here and there, but overall it's another wonderful game in this wonderful series. And so, let's dive into Atelier Resleriana, the Red Alchemist, and the White Guardian, and see what I thought of everything this game has to offer. I hope you all enjoy. Atelier Resleriana, the Red Alchemist, and the White Guardian has two main protagonists, Slade and Riaz. You choose one of these two, which I assume the story stays basically the same, just you would get some exclusive cutscenes depending on which one you pick. I chose Riaz to start, and you have a meet cute type of meeting with each other in these ruins, where you discover a hidden atelier and decide to use it to help rebuild your town of Holfeen that's been trying to recover after this red mist incident that left Riaz's grandfather and Slade's father gone. And so you will be traveling various places around near your town, along with these dimensional paths that open up along the way that are filled with monsters and materials to find for alchemy and figuring out why they are opened. Across your travels too, you will come across many different characters, both new to this game and past Atelier games. These are always fun as it gives so much nostalgia for ones that I already know about for these characters, along with wanting to play these older Atelier games now to get to know more about these other characters here too. Overall, a very solid story with many characters that I enjoyed and presented in a fun way. When talking about graphics for Atelier games, they aren't going to be anything mind-blowing or high budget, and for Atelier Resleriana, the Red Alchemist, and the White Guardian, it's more of a lower budget look. But that's not always a bad thing. Everything here is bright and colorful, with the character models being very cute to look at. There's lots of charm here and makes for a relaxing experience. Atelier games are always chill and cozy, and this one is no different. I had no issue with the game with how it performs. The frame rate is steady throughout, with the exception of when using certain attacks. There are some frame rate drops here and there, and there's also very fast load times when playing on the PlayStation 5, so yeah, no real big issues I found here. The soundtrack here is wonderful. Great OST throughout with your typical town, field, or dungeon music and battle themes. I also love how when you're introduced to older Atelier characters, the themes for these games will start playing, so add to the nostalgic factor. Atelier games usually have fun, cozy soundtracks to listen to, and Atelier Resleriana, the Red Alchemist, and the White Guardian may be the best soundtrack in the series yet.
こんにちは。新しい品。
トウユ
「
俺が前に出る。
熱いの行くよ。
後ろから援護してくれ。
体突撃。ここは思いっきりやっちゃえ。いいまとみっけ。
力がみなぎっ
For voice acting, well, I'm surprised that there's still no English voices again and hope the series returns with them at some point. The voice acting here is fantastic. Between those funny moments and the heartbreaking scenes, the voice actors do a wonderful job throughout.
何の話それ。
待て、誤解だ。俺にそんな気はみじんもない。
はあ、それはそれでちょっとムカつくんだけど。まさかやす考えたこともないわよ。っていうかどうしてそんな話になってんの。
カミラ、落ち着いて聞いてくれ。俺もリアスにそういう気持ちは一切抱いていない。
だからそれもムカつくんだって。一切って何？一切ってそうよ。リアスの何が気に入らないの。
巻き込まれる前に逃げた方が良さそうだ。ああ、泣き止むまで一緒だ。
ありがとう。
There are a few aspects with the gameplay here. There's the combat, alchemy, field and dungeon exploration, and rebuilding the town of Halfine. We'll talk about exploration first. So, each area has its own semi-open field to gather materials, fight monsters, and enter certain cutscenes. These areas are fun to visit with many different ones to go to, along with the dimensional paths, though it does get repetitive and tedious after a while, especially because of one big issue I have with the game. See, I said part of the game experience is rebuilding your town. To do this, you run a shop called Mistletoe Miscellaneous, which was run by Rias's grandfather and her before. This is pretty simple to do as you get help by these fairies that you find in the dimensional paths, where you select which materials to sell. There are materials that you gathered in your travels, along with the ones that you synthesize in alchemy. As you sell certain areas of town, like say farming or manufacturing, those levels increase. This is how you improve your town. However, there is a level cap, so you will also need to visit Rias's sister to develop the town further, along with increasing the level cap for your store. And unfortunately, the game forces you to do this. There will be times during the main story that you will be tasked with increasing the town's level, which is done through your store and increasing each level of the town's areas. Now, I love seeing the town slowly come to life and being rebuilt bit by bit, but I hate being forced out of the main story to do this. Most of the time it wasn't too bad. I already had what I needed to level up the town, but late in the game, right before this festival that you want to host for Halfine, it took me a good few hours to level the town up. Eventually, I did get some help from others to get certain recipes, but at first I just couldn't figure out the recipe I needed to get the right items, so it was tedious for sure. Silver lining though, I leveled up a lot because of that. Now, when it comes to combat, this is back to older Atelier titles by being a conditional turn-based system. Recent games have been more action turn-based oriented, but Red Alchemist and White Guardian is back to being more simple, and it's a lot of fun. You get to plan attacks by looking at the turn order, use items you create in battles, have follow-up attacks with your other party members, and have multi-attacks to switch in and out the front and back rows of characters. There are 6 playable characters you eventually get to use, 3 for the front row and 3 for the back, each character having their own elements that they are strong with, like wind, fire, or even just physical attacks. There are also 4 different difficulty options to choose from, which Atelier games tend to be pretty easy anyways, but you got easy, normal, hard, and very hard. The battle system is very fun and easy to use, great for both old fans and newcomers to the series. And then there's alchemy. The alchemy is always the most fun part of these Atelier games, and the one here in red and white is very simple but still addictive, especially once you get used to it. Each material has these different colors on them, in which you link them together to transfer the traits within each item, like increased defense, elemental attacks, etc. You will also gain new recipes that you find while gathering some from treasure chests as you explore, along with progressing through the story. You also get new ones by use of recipe morph. This involves using certain items with a recipe to now morph into a completely new recipe, which you will need to do for some recipes in order to progress through the game to have the right item to increase your town. I did enjoy the alchemy here, even if it was more simplified, but did get a bit burnt out when I had to keep recipe morphing to find the right recipe to level up the shop in town. Overall, Atelier Resleriana, the Red Alchemist, and the White Guardian was a pleasant and charming experience. Seeing all the older Atelier characters was fun, along with the combat system and alchemy. However, it is held back by some tedious moments, especially the parts of leveling up your town. It made exploration more of a chore than it was at the start of the game, and held alchemy back a bit too. Just wish the main story wasn't walked through leveling up your town. Regardless though, Atelier Resleriana, the Red Alchemist, and the White Guardian is still another great entry in the series, and one that both old fans will have a great time with, and a great entry point for newcomers. And so I am giving Atelier Resleriana, the Red Alchemist, and the White Guardian an 8.5 out of 10. And so, let me know in the comments down below what you think. Do you agree or disagree with me? Will you be picking up Atelier Resleriana, the Red Alchemist, and the White Guardian? Have you played it, and what did you think of it? I would love to hear all your thoughts in the comments down below. Thanks again to Koei Tecmo for the review code, really appreciate it. And thank you to all of you for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you next time. Thanks, and have a great rest of your day. Hey everyone, thanks for watching, really appreciate it. If you enjoyed what you saw, be sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe to see more. Also follow me on X, Twitch, Bluesky, and I am back on Facebook now. All links will be on my About page, so follow me there. Even if it's just for the skits I do, I need someone to follow me. Okay, probably not the best way to encourage people, but anyways, I'll see you next time. Have a great day, everyone!